I'll take orange. Oh my gosh.
So now we're recording after
Oh,
everything.
that's fun.
I'm going to, I'm a little sick tonight, and I'm thinking I'll be able to do this without any problem. But if it happens that I do have to call for something, Dorothy's going to pick up the ball and run with it. We're getting ready to end the challenge one more week. So we're going to talk a little bit about Way Out tonight. Dorothy covered the nurse's call. So Dorothy, why don't you go ahead and pick up right here and tell us about the nurse's call.
There is, I couldn't even catch everything that she had on the nurse's call. There's a new dietitian, and she was talking, this is Heart Health Month, and she was talking about everything to do with heart health. And there was so much information, I couldn't get it all down. And I think it would be good if you guys were able to get in there. I got a phone number here. It's on page 19 of the Quick Start Guide if you happen to have one. But the nurse's call, and that was just from last night. If you got a pencil and paper handy, it's 512-505-6856. And she did also say something that I thought was very interesting. In the question and answers that people can call in and then they answer their questions. There was one coach that called in for one of her clients who's been stuck in a plateau and has not been able to get out of that. She's a school teacher. She walks around a lot, but she doesn't do physical exercise. They did encourage her now, she's been on the program for quite a while, to get more exercise and increase the amount of steps that she does each day. But they did also tell her to go to, and for those of you that have the Quick Start Guide, the vegetables that are the highest carb, go to those for 1 week. And those carbs will quick start you.
And the recycling carbs, didn't she?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Recycling carbs, and that may help her to get back the metabolism burning better. So I mean, there's a lot of information on that call if you have the opportunity to get in there and listen. Yeah, it was very interesting.
That's really surprising because I would have thought just the opposite.
They actually said, Rhonda, to go 1 week on the highest vegetables that are carbs, and then the next week to go to the lowest vegetables that are carbs. What I really liked, Dorothy, was, hi Don, I'm glad you got in, honey. What I really liked, because it actually rang true for me, is when she talked about, at the very end of that conversation, she came in and said something about, did you ever plateau when you were gaining your weight? Was there ever a place where you plateaued? And I noticed that when I was on the program, and not everybody probably plateau as much as I did because they didn't go up as high as I did, but it probably holds true for everyone. But it seemed like when I went up, I held at 175 for a long time, meaning months or maybe a year. I did this over a process of 20 years. I know that I held right at 200 for a long time. I knew I held at 220 for a long time. And then I have my weight recorded way back because I have a Wii game and it's all recorded on that. And I went back and looked one time to see if I'd ever weighed more than 249 because it really felt like, how can I not be 250? Was I just lying to myself that I only got to 249? And I literally went looking to see if I'd ever weighed 250, and I never had. So obviously I was in another plateau at 249 of holding it. And so when I was coming down in the weight, I would lose the weight, whoosh, 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 just melting. People would see me and say, oh, you're just melting away. And then when I'd hit that 220, I like stopped. And I didn't know what that was at that time. Didn't think another thing about it. And then when I hit 200, I sat there for a while. So that was what she interjected at the end of the call, is that had you plateaued at that weight, because I think the memory in your body recollects. And if you had been at a weight for a long period of time, it would probably remember that, and probably back when you were holding on to that, because I know when I was holding on to those weights, it was so I didn't gain more, so I didn't gain more, so I didn't gain more, and that's what kept me in those places. But coming down, I was staying there without trying to. So I do believe there is some. Has anyone else experienced that, where they were at a weight for a long time and did not get beyond it?
I've plateaued several times.
Marsha, you're muted if you were trying to talk.
Yeah, I've been at it now for, well, I gained that weight last summer, a year ago, a little over a year ago, and I just can't seem to get off of that 140 to 144.
And did you stay there for a long time?
I'm still there.
No. Did you stay there a long time before you gained your weight? Was that a place where you stayed?
Yeah, I think it was. If I go back and remember, after my parents died, I hit that and I stayed there for a while.
And that's what she was talking about at the end of the call, is that there are places where we have been and stayed for a long period of time, and you may actually experience that in your weight loss of going back down. Yeah. So when I talk about this program and when I got into it, I really was trying to figure out, how do I take care of my body? What do I put in my body that doesn't compromise it? I had compromised it so much. And how do I boost my immune system? And it's real important to me to increase longevity. There's 18 years between me and Tony, and I worry more about him than I do me. So getting the most for the miles was real important for me. So how to increase longevity was important to me. And all the answers come right back to what you eat, what you drink, how much you move, and what you think. You can solve every problem you have with that. We're not eating food anymore. We're eating products that look like food. And then they've adorned them to make them look better and smell better. And they present them to people so people will be attracted to them. But not only that, they're made with a long shelf life. The objective is not to give you a healthy product. The objective is to give you a product that will make you buy it, that will last long, and will create a lot of money. We actually live in a society that's overfed, but we're still starving to death. 1/3 of all women are on diets and 1/4 of all men. And that's really what, in my efforts and what I'm doing, that I want to address. And anything that will help me do that is what I focus on. I'm always looking for anything that's going to keep my mind focused on those objectives. The challenge helps me do that. This is the best thing I've found ever in my life for keeping health right here in my face. And that's what I like about the challenge. Go ahead. Was somebody going to say something? Nope. Okay. So we're getting ready to go into the, let me share my screen here real quick, because we're getting ready to do the way out. And it was kind of complicated for everybody. I'm surprised. I'm doing pretty good. I haven't coughed yet. We're getting ready to go into the way out. These are the important dates in the challenge. The last day you can earn points is on the 22nd. That's at 3 o'clock our time, 12 o'clock California time. That is how Katie put a note in there because she didn't get on to get her points to 12:15 last night. And I'm going to tell you right now, every point is going to be the difference between second and third. It's completely ours to lose. The way out begins on February 20th. So the same thing's going to happen that happened when you signed in. You're going to sign in to weigh in. When you sign in on the 20th, you're going to get a new number, and that number needs to be held with a picture in front of you and placed down by the scale so they can see that. Whether you reach your goal or not, they still want you to weigh out because they are collecting an overall total of how much pounds was lost in this challenge. Gary, you talked in the room a few days back about oh my gosh, the amount of pounds that was lost. collectively in this whole challenge. Obviously, you paid attention to that.
Yeah, I was really astounded with the amount of fat
Yeah.
weight taken off. And I just, before I signed on with the Zoom tonight, I looked at the total and it was something like 48,382 pounds. Now that's that's a lot of weight, you know.
And we're part of that, you know. Part of it. We contributed to it.
382. You know, I can't believe.
Yeah.
But,
So
yeah,
it's significant. And there's people who, you know, you're not required to weigh in during the challenge. And we probably have a good 10 people that's never weighed in, that their pounds aren't even up there yet. So they will weigh out, I hope. I hope we have 100% weigh out in our room. Let's push it when it gets to that last week to get people.
I think, Connie, the last one, there was a lot of misunderstanding about it, because I thought that if you hadn't lost the weight, they didn't want you to weigh out, but they do. They want to hear from everybody.
I think they want the overall weight loss.
Right, but they, you know, like I lacked 4/10 of a pound, Connie? I lacked to meet my goal.
Aw.
So I didn't think that there was no need for me to weigh in, or to weigh out, but they did say that everybody should weigh out.
Yeah, and you want to, because you're contributing to a big number. This whole thing is not about any one person. It's about everyone, even in our teams. You know, we're competing against other people just like us. And that brings another subject to my mind, and it's how we want to do this challenge, because we don't want to make it to where people feel excluded. And because I didn't have all the information in the beginning, I couldn't give people the option, because the 3 people who didn't stay into the room prize, talking to them was not fun for them. And they never intended to have to get in and get their points every day. They just wanted to be in here and kind of, you know, roam around the room. That I heard that word many times when I was talking to people about getting points. But I really am thrilled at what's happening here at the end, because everybody's understanding it's not about the money. It's about being in a team and performing as a team. And I think that is the spirit that keeps our weight loss going as well, is us doing this collectively and in a team. So when we do the challenge in the spring, we're going to very much up front, you know, define that with individuals and make sure what their intent is. Is there any dissenting opinions on that, of making this about getting points? I mean, do most of you agree with me that getting the points is, why be in here if you're not going to do that? Can y'all speak up so I know? I don't want to think I'm the only person thinking this way.
No, I think we should get our points. And for one thing, that shows that we looked at all of the hints and helps that we're getting. And if you're not getting your points, you're defeating the main purpose of the challenge, is to read these things or see these things and stuff, and listen to the support we're getting from them. So I think that, you know.
I think also that by getting the points, we're all acting as a team. You know, we're pulling for one another. I think it's a great motivating factor, you know, rather than just going along for the ride. You know, I don't want to let the team down, so I'm more conscious, more aware of what I'm putting in my mouth, you know, because I don't want to let the team down. So
And I have that.
I think it also puts us in more of an active rather than a passive position.
I agree with that. Where do we have a doggy?
That's my dog.
Okay.
He hears somebody outside.
All right.
Nobody can walk down the street and not be heard by him. Shh. Quiet. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. So,
Hopefully he'll be quiet.
all right. Is that, did anybody else? Hannah Laura, I'd be interested in how you feel about that specific subject, if you're okay with sharing. Do you mind?
No, it's the opposite. It's part of the game. It's the rules, and I knew that before, and everybody should take part of it.
I'd like to interject a thought though.
Uh-huh.
I think that at the beginning, and this program has been a learning experience for all of us. And I think now we have a little more information, and we know now that they can be in here, they can opt out of the points, because there are some people that go on business trips or do things where they can't get in there every day, but they could still go in and get their information. So if they're given that option at the beginning, and they should be given an option.
Well, we are going to give them options.
Right. But we didn't know that at the beginning of this challenge.
Mhm,
And
right.
we now know that.
So the question I asked myself, that because I really did not want anyone to feel like we were picking on them or that we didn't want them here, because I was happy. I didn't care what their score was. I was happy with every person that decided to stay. And the people who didn't stay, they decided that. I never did tell them they had to leave. But it will be better if people are using it in different ways, now that we know there are mechanisms where they can still be there. But and they're cheering us on. Two of them haven't been in the room again, but Carol is a great participant in the room, and I enjoy seeing her comments all the time. The payout is on March 9th, and those of us who have been through the payout, we can help any of you guys who haven't done the payout before. It's not difficult. It shows up in your PayPal account, and you can move it right to your checking account if you want. Or you can use it right there in the PayPal account by buying something. Fine, that's up to you. Does anyone have any questions that I could help with? No.
Well, this payout is all new to me. So when the time comes, you let us all know.
I sure will.
Get an email.
And
Hopefully, we'll do good. We'll get up there.
yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I have those office hours where I'm sitting here, and when the payout time comes, I didn't do this last time, but now you know when I'm in the room, and all you have to do is come in the same way you did tonight, and I will help you collect your money and do what you need to do with it based on what it is you want to do. So next week is our last Zoom. When we do the Zoom next week, I'll make all of that available to you again, and then there will be no problem for you to collect your money. They do give you the option to leave money in there, so in the spring, you don't have to go through the process to sign up again. You can go ahead and leave $22 there now, and then when you go back, we know this from our own experience, when you go back, because I won in the last challenge. Carol, you won in the last challenge. Why don't you tell them what you do when you sign back in for the second challenge?
Just use your PayPal account and they deduct it from the money that you've left in there.
Yeah.
You'll get it if you win. If you win the challenge, you'll get an email and it'll tell you how much money is in your account. And then you know what you have sitting there.
Oh, thank you, God. I thought that was you. All right. Anything else that anybody else wants to bring to attention?
You mentioned the newsletter. I've never seen or got anything about that newsletter.
You didn't get the newsletter?
No, I've never gotten it.
You know, you've been getting newsletters ever since you got on the program. You were put in. It's the first Tuesday of every month. And I have you in there. So now what I have to figure out is why you're not getting it. And maybe it went to your spam, you think?
I don't have a separate spam account. I mean, my stuff all comes in one area.
I tell you what, I'll get with you and we'll make sure you start getting your Healthy Habits newsletter.
That's great.
Now, I put people on the Healthy Habits newsletter that have never been on it. And I don't really like to assume that that's okay. And that's why I made everyone aware that there is an unsubscribe down at the bottom. So if you want to continue getting the once a month newsletters, just do that. But if you want to unsubscribe to it, then on the bottom, there's a link where you hit unsubscribe and you won't get them anymore. Okay. And meditation. Has anybody ever done that 21-day meditation with Deepak Chopra?
Yes, I have.
I have.
Too.
Dorothy, did you do it last time?
Oh, yeah, I done it.
No. This is as important as anything you could do for your health. And actually, as you engage it and get better at it, you may find it essential for your health. And Deepak Chopra for 3 years has been doing these 21-day meditations, and they last a total of like 15 minutes. Oprah and him got together and they do this, and they're free. You sign up for them, and then they notify you the next time they're having them. And it's 21 days. It's in your mailbox. First thing in the morning, you can do it. They let it sit there for 5 days. You can do it up to 5 days. You have 5 days to get it. So after that 21st day, you have to day 25 before they all disappear. So even if you're not able to get them, get to them every day, they're not going to go away. They replace them as they get 5 days old. They drop off. But they're well worth it. Oprah introduces it with a beautiful subject every time, and then he turns it over to Deepak, and then to meditate, he does a lesson, and then the meditation is actually only 5 minutes. And if you can still your mind and you can sit there for that 5 minutes and then listen to that pretty music, your day will be better. I can guarantee you that. And you do have to make time. You know, one of the things that I've noticed about this challenge, because I don't have a lot of time either, but when I go in here and I'm reading the content and I'm going through their little structure that they have, and I'm learning different things, and I'm researching and preparing my little articles for you guys, I realize how valuable this is in keeping me on a path to where I want to get to. And I would imagine that's the same impact it's having on those that it's benefiting. So I will, and I forgot where I was headed.
Connie, do you know what the topic is?
Yes, I do. What was it, Dorothy? I do know it. I do know it. I do know it, but I forgot it. I see. That'll be real easy for me.
Deepak Chopra.
Meditation?
Did you say? Do you know, Dorothy?
What was it you were, the question?
What is the topic of the meditation?
I
It's
read it this
I
morning.
think it's different every day.
You were talking about the 21.
Yes, the 21 day.
Yeah, but I don't know what their topic is this time.
Okay, just curious.
I'm looking.
It is
You got it, Dorothy?
manifesting true success.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we're at our 30 minutes. I appreciate everybody coming. If anyone has a subject they'd like to discuss, I would like to ask Jerry and Cheryl something. Jerry and Cheryl, this was your first challenge. Hannelore, it was your first challenge, but you spoke to us about it just a minute ago. And I was actually going to ask Jerry and Cheryl about it, what their take on everything is there. Go ahead, Jerry. We'll start with you. And we'll close.
My take on it is basically, it kind of goes to this points thing we were talking about earlier. This keeps you involved every day. It gives you something to look forward to. Me, it gives me something every evening to look forward to, where you sit down, you go through all the different things that they've got, and you read them, and you know, think about what they're talking about, okay, and how it relates to you. If you didn't have that, you know, the thought process and the extra things that you read and you see and all the things you do wouldn't be happening. So I think this is something that almost could be done to somebody that comes into the program, that there was something every night that maybe, you know, Tech Paper Life could have a thing that they could read and get involved and do something, you know, to augment their their weight loss program, that they could, log on every night or something, I don't know, but it's definitely helped me.
It's been beneficial to you.
Been much more involved.
Yeah. So.
Than you would have been without it.
And we know that firsthand.
Yeah.
Very good. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Jump in for a minute on these points.
Go ahead.
I usually get up in the morning with my cappuccino. I'll come in here and I'll go through the challenge things you have to do to get your points. Well, we went away on Sunday over to visit my daughter and son-in-law and granddaughters, and I come home that night and I said, wow, everybody's 40-some points ahead of me. I've been watching Dawn and Dorothy, and I said, wow, how can that be? We're neck and neck. Well, then I went back into the questions, and here's a 40-pointer there. So they stuck that in sometime later in the day. Now, had I not went on in the evening and caught that, I would have been out to 40 points.
Yeah, me too, Gary. I got caught too.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to check it 2 or 3 times a day,
Well, I think that should be reported to the designer of the program, because that shouldn't happen.
Okay, here's
Well, it might be a time difference in.
Here's the scanning. On those big ones, the 40-point ones, people who haven't done them, those sit there for a week until they do the next one. That one's a week-long one. So it goes. I wrote them about this. They wrote me back and said, no, that goes in on Sunday, I guess, right? Sunday?
It was
and it
Sunday.
ends on Saturday. Where the other points are daily, that big one, it's a survey. They'll put the survey in on Sunday, and everyone has until the next Saturday to get their 40 points.
Oh, okay.
So just so you know, I did follow up on that. That was frightening. I was here tonight getting, I was being contacted by Gary, and I was being contacted by Rhonda. And I'm like, what did I do?
I called Carol up in Michigan.
Connie's already on top of it. And Jan, this is Jan's first one too.
Oh, thank you.
This is my first. I'm a novice, and I didn't like the started, but I really do like them because
Dan
forces you to get the information,
Yeah.
and you can do with it what you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Who'd we lose?
Are you talking,
What happened?
Ulster.
Jan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Were you through talking?
I think so.
Oh, this has been so much fun tonight.
I know.
As I go through and I deal with these points, and believe me, I really have learned a lot following the points. You'll see that I have everything. I have sheets and sheets of this documenting all of the points and all of us. And as I look through and see what everybody is doing, patterns emerge. And but as I'm collecting this information and I go into the back there and I'm looking at the other teams, 721 teams. That is no small feat to be second. I'm telling you right now. And the people who are in first place have 73 people. But what I think they did is they got in on that first day. They had this whole group of people ready. And they got in on that first day. And when they went in that first day, they started getting their points right away. They didn't get to be 73 overnight. So my objective is to get in there and to win first place. And we could very easily end up in third place, and that's not bad either. And I give congratulations to everyone who's competed. But now when I'm back there looking, I see 4 of us up at the 1,400 per person mark, and there's 721 teams. So what is everybody else doing? I see teams that at this point only have 800 points. So that brings the question to my mind of how valuable is this to them and how valuable is this to us? And I think that's where the points come in. And that's why I think the points are important.
I agree.
Hip, hip, hooray. All right, go to bed. Dawn, thanks for coming, honey. Do you have any words you would like to say before everybody parts? Dawn always has great input.
Yes, she does.
Is she able to talk?
There she is.
Are you able to talk, Dawn?
Always have to put my 2 cents for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think the points are important per person, but as a team, and all of the information that is given and the exercises. I mean, I can't stress how important I think those are. You know, that we do those, but I think that we need to make it. You know, everybody that I've brought in and whatnot, I make sure that I get a hold of them and say, hey, you know, do you need help? What's going on? You know, this is important for you to get this information. And this is a team thing. We decided we wanted to do this. Let's do it. And it's, you know, we don't want to let one another down.
That has made a difference.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, the other thing I would say is we started this plank back at the beginning of January. I was this little plank challenge. I was supposed to go from, well, it starts off with 20 seconds and then it goes to 4 minutes, and I never got to 4 minutes. I did it every day. But I'm really good at 1 minute, but I can do a minute and 20 seconds. Gary saw me do a minute and 20 seconds the other day.
Yeah.
But what I want to share is 2 things. So I'm visiting Rhonda, and she says, I see you guys talking about that 20 seconds. Go ahead, Rhonda.
No, you're telling a good story. I'm going to let you go, honey.
And so Rhonda says, so it finally just got next to me and I had to get down and see what do you mean 20 seconds? And she did a minute pretty easy, which is really saying a lot. That was
Wow.
And she's going to incorporate it into her day at some point, she says. And Dorothy, that's where Dorothy and Gary have been doing the plank. Gary, did you only do it that one time or a couple of times, or are you actually doing it on a regular basis?
You talking to me or?
I am. I'm talking to you. You talked about the plank. What have you done with the plank?
Once or twice.
Mm-hmm. And how long?
I didn't time myself.
Oh, that's right.
I had to make sure that I could get down there and
get back up.
Getting down's not bad. It's getting back up.
And Hannah-Laura, are you doing the plank, I think?
No, I forgot about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you forgot about it. Okay. So now here's
and it's good.
Huh?
I will do it again. You reminded me just.
Okay, that's good. So Dorothy, who said, I cannot do it. What was it you said when we were talking about it? You were really emphatic.
Oh, well, I have an inflamed tendon in the top of my foot, and I thought that it would bother the tendon. I am amazed that I can do it. I am, in fact, I went over to the fitness center in town. I'm a member there because I thought I wasn't doing it right because it was easier than I thought it was going to be. And she said to me, surprisingly, she said, you have very good upper body strength. I don't have the core strength, but I'm able to do it. I'm able to do it with my hands extended and also on my elbows with no problem whatsoever. And it just is amazing. But I don't have the core strength, and that's why I want to do it, to get the core strength.
And me too.
Yeah, but I didn't think I'd be able to. I really didn't.
I will post it up again in the Huddle Up. And now that I've mentioned the Huddle Up,
elbows. Do your elbows first.
Say again?
She said for me to do my elbows first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So on the Huddle Up, when we ended the challenge last time, we all did not want to part and go different ways.
And I wanted to know what.
Say it again, Don. Oh, we lost her.
Yeah, we lost.
Anyway, so those that are new in the challenge this time, if I think I have added everybody that's here into the Huddle Up. But for those who are listening, if you want to be in the Huddle Up with me, let me know. I'll send you an email, and then we have to do like you have to become a friend on Facebook, and then I can add you. So we'll be doing that over the next week. Have I added you, Jan? I see you nodding your head. I haven't yet. Dorothy will take care of that for you.
Okay.
Don, did you come back to finish your conversation?
Connie, I have a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, my phone is not cooperating at all tonight, but were you
You wasn't kidding.
Cutting in and out.
in disabilities?
Tell her to text it.
Don, you want to text it? Well, actually, why don't you stay on and we'll talk after this, okay? Let's don't hang up.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
To you.
Okay. Is everybody done?
Okay.
One more Zoom next week. We'll button it up. And thank you, everybody. It's been great. We're all doing good. I'm really thrilled to be in the position we're in, and everybody fighting like they're fighting. It's really cool. I like it. I'm happy.
Thanks,
It was
Connie.
nice meeting you all.
Thank you for coming.
Join us.
See you
Good
next
week
week.
until the next one.
All righty. Next week. Stay warm. Stay warm.
All right, out.
It's 32 right now. That's good.
Heat wave for you.
Connie,
Uh-huh.
it's Carol.
I know. Go ahead.
Could you stay on for a minute? I need to talk to you.
Well, I'll stay on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're going to talk to Dawn or.
Yeah. We're good. Good night.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a
Anyone
good
can
day.
stay on that wants to. I just didn't want to occupy your time if you needed to be somewhere. I didn't mean you had to leave.
Jerry.
Go ahead, Don. Let's give this a shot. Did she text you?
No, she didn't text me.
Okay.
What is your question, Dawn? Do you want to text it?
So, Carol, why don't you start? And with maybe Don can text it to Dorothy.
Can you not hear me now?
No.
Can hear your question, yeah. Go ahead. Try to text it, Dawn.
Don, we're going to go ahead and let Carol talk and text your mama the question, okay? Go ahead, Carol.
Okay. I'm going to be going
I am.
out of town on Friday.
Yes.
And I'll be back